It is no surprise to sales consultants that marketers seek the best, most effective lead gen and brand awareness opportunities that produce strong ROI in a campaign. The trend of digital consumption in the B2B communications world is expanding to include innovative ways to connect buyers and sellers online and in real time in the business technology industry. UBMStudios is leading the industry in producing successful virtual environments. I'm sitting with Michelle McPhail, VP of Product Development at UBMStudios in Chicago. Michelle, why would a virtual environment be more attractive to our clients versus a webinar?
Well, they're really just kind of, they're obviously built on sort of the same premise, right? So the core of a good virtual environment, which is kind of the broader sense of a wider scale type of thing, is generally good content or good webcasts that would go in that. That's what's going to get engagement. That's what's going to draw the attendance. So it's still built on that same concept of delivering a message, having the ability for a live Q&A, and then what a virtual environment does is sort of take that one step further, right? So here's this message, now come chat with me here, one-on-one, learn more. I've got my technical expert, he's here to talk through some issues with you and things like that. You've got the ability to add more supplemental content that kind of supports the topic or the messaging that they might have included in that webcast. And it's that next step. So you're already in an environment, you say, I'm interested in this topic, you learn more about it, and then you're right there to get more information, than expecting somebody to necessarily go to their website and find their way to, learn more. You're like, hey, I'm here to talk with you, and kind of give them that opportunity to do so.
So in essence, virtual environments are a webinar on steroids, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, an environment can be kind of a trade show environment, which is going to be as close as possible to what you might think of as a physical show, where one of your clients might be a sponsor along with a bunch of other sponsors. Well, we also would create a virtual environment for one sponsor where we might run a series of webcasts in there, across a bunch of different topics or covering a couple of their different products, things like that, bringing people back on a regular basis to engage. Or we could have even just a smaller environment that is dedicated solely to that sponsor and the ability for them to kind of brand and get out their message. So it doesn't have to be, the typical I'm an exhibitor at a trade show where there's a bunch of booths and things like that. You can take the functionality that we have available in these environments and kind of package it in different ways that's most appropriate for your clients and their message.
Why are virtual environments an important medium to consider in one's overall marketing portfolio?
Well, as you know, there isn't, kind of a magic bullet, one thing that you're going to be able to do to reach all of your potential customers in the way that they want to be interacted with. So having kind of a variety of different ways to reach out to people through an environment where you can present audio, present things that they can download and read on their own, interact real time with you. It's kind of important to having the ability to kind of reach out and make sure that you're sort of covering your bases there. You're putting that information out there, but at the same time you're able to answer their questions and things like that. So obviously, physical events are an important way of doing that as well. With the recession, we know that travel budgets have been cut, and this sort of allows companies to touch these prospects throughout the year more frequently without kind of cutting into their budgets. And it's also a very cost-effective way to kind of get all of this information up for the companies and out compared to some other things like print marketing, things like that, where you don't really know who's looking at it. You don't know what they thought of it. In this case, you know exactly who's coming, exactly what they're looking at, how long they're spending looking at it, and what kind of questions that they have, and you're able to kind of capitalize on that versus spending dollars on some of the other things that are great for brand awareness, but kind of leave some holes in your understanding of how customers are receiving your messaging.
This has been fascinating information today, and Michelle, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to really bring virtual environments to life.
Thanks.